Good morning. Hey, Michelle, happy birthday. Hey, Nina. Destiny. Hi, Mom. It's Michelle Lee's birthday. Hi, Betty. Hey, so I have some, what's up? Hey, Sarah. No kale. Michelle Lee's a devil woman for eating that kale. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around, but first I want to show you Jurassic Park come alive. Look at the size of that bug! Ooh, there's a bug for your birthday. Alright. And work for love today, okay? I know, right? It's prehistoric. He was flying around last night when I was on the workshop. He's been there all night. Hi, Catherine. It's a freaking pterodactyl. Ew. No, Sarah, it's too scary to get close to enough to make it move. Now I can't get the camera turned around. Okay. I know, right? I'm scared. Because it's huge. It's not hurting anything. He's just hanging out. He's just hanging out with me here by my desk. He doesn't have a stinger. And he doesn't smell bad, so I was like, yeah, whatever. Because here's what'll happen. The cats will eat him. And nope. But, I don't know, it's some giant flying massive bug, prehistoric bug. And Sarah, hi Carrie. I dipped my tassel in my tea this morning. I leaned over and it went bloop. So just to let you know, it's very absorbent. And I was going to ask you what it's made of to see if I could hand wash it. I was like, oh, that's nice. It got all over my shirt. It was a big mess. Okay. Good morning, Carrie. My kombucha tea is hand-dyed soap. Now it's dyed tea color. Carrie sent me a SCOBY. I have 3 jars of kombucha tea brewing right beside my 4 jars of sauerkraut. Can we pull a card for today? Yes. Which deck do you want? I know, right? Tea. I have the Kuan Yin, the Mary, the the Compass. No, is it the Compass one? Hold on, let me grab it. And I have some giveaways today. So hang on. Let's grab a decky poo. Enchanted map. Enchanted map. This is a good one. Okay. Couple of business things. We are going to get to the book, I promise. Hi, Juliana. I'm going to read a list of names here for the giveaway. If you have to go to work or whatever, that's fine. But I want to make sure I have you. So I have Michelle Lee, Lenora, Catherine, Sarah, Betty, Carrie, Nina, Juliana. Who am I missing? Michelle, Lenora, Katie, Sarah, Catherine, Sarah, Betty, Carrie, Nina, Juliana, Tanya. You don't want to be on it? It's not like a radio station. That's okay, I'll let you know. You can't win if you've won in the last 60 days. Okay, I took you off. And that's very sweet of you. That was very thoughtful. Nina is a thoughtful person. Okay, so I think I have you all. Here's what the giveaway is today. Oh, Silvana. I got a message from Silvana on my messenger. I was like, what? She's watching me on Twitter. Hey, I didn't know know that. Hi, Solana. You're on the list. Okay, so let's read for a little bit, and then I'll tell you what's up, and then we'll do a little card pull for Michelle's birthday. Good morning. There is a... Hi, Intention and Art. What is your first name? Ben. Hi, Ben. Savannah, that's so funny. Elizabeth, I'm putting you on this little drawing list. I'm trying to get everybody as they come in. Okay. A little bit more business. There's an emotional, just a giveaway. Just a little giveaway. The emotional, at the end of every other month, I do a little giveaway. Let's see, what am I saying? Oh, there's a class Catherine and I are doing on how essential oils work with your emotions and help you overcome things like procrastination and negative beliefs and stuff like that. To get to that, you need to friend me on Facebook. You can unfriend me after the class. If you want, that's fine. But you need to friend me on Facebook so that I can send you an invitation for the class, because the class is not open to the public. So you can find me there, facebook.com/LMichelleWolf. And then this is my Desire Map class lineup. I have a girls class starting April 12th. The ticket cutoff for that is, I think, April 4th or something. And that one's called I Decide, and it's for 13 to 16-year-old girls, desire mapping stuff. They get a paperback copy of the book and a bunch of cool stuff. And that's starting soon. And then I have a level 1 starting in May. I know, I feel kind of busy. Thank you. CaddyshackDesigns.com. Across the top is everything that I do. My name is Michelle Wolf. Angela. And then the other thing is I'm giving people $20 rebate back if they want to buy a premium starter kit of Young Living oils. You need to friend me for that too, because I need to send you that link and it's fairly long. Good morning. So friend me for that. That offer is good until 10 o'clock tonight. It's, I believe, with shipping and everything. Hi, Aaron. It is $378 worth of stuff for $165, and then I'm covering your tax and shipping pretty much, because I'm going to send you back $20 by PayPal, or I can send you a Starbucks gift card, or however you want your $20 back, or I can put a $20 credit in your account. I think I can do that. Or I can send you a gift card, a Visa card, whatever. Till 10 o'clock tonight, I'll give you $20 back on your kit. Almost $400 worth of stuff for like $165. You get a diffuser, 11 oils, blah, blah, blah. You can find that on my website too, CaddyshackDesigns.com. There's a tab that says YL Oils. Click on that and you can see all the stuff that you get. All right, enough with that. Let's read a little bit and then we're going to pull a card. Today's chapter in Big Magic is Elk Talk. Elk. Elk are my favorite of the hoofed animals. There's a word for those animals, like there's an actual name for animals with that kind of hoof, like deer and elk and moose and whatnot, and I never can remember it, but elk are my favorite. So let me tell you a story about persistence and patience. Back in my early 20s, I wrote a short story called, it's different, it's like a Latin name. It might be their genus or their species or something super fancy. I wrote a short story called Elk Talk. The tale had grown out of an experience I'd had back when I was working as a cook on a ranch in Wyoming. One evening, I stayed up late telling jokes and drinking beer with a few of the cowboys. These guys were all hunters, and we got to talking about elk calls, the various techniques for imitating a bull elk's mating call in order to draw the animals near. And let me tell you, that sound is incredible. One of the cowboys, Hank, of course his name would be Hank, right? Admitted that he had recently purchased a tape recording of some elk calls made by the greatest master of elk calling in elk hunting history, a guy named, and I will never forget this, Larry D. Jones. For some reason, it might have been the beer, I thought this was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. I love that there was somebody in the world named Larry D. Jones who made a living by recording himself imitating the mating calls of elk, and I loved that people like my friend Hank bought these tapes in order to practice their own mating calls. Good morning! I persuaded Hank to go find the Larry D. Jones instructional mating call tape, and I made him play it for me again and again while I laughed myself dizzy. It wasn't just the sound of the elk call that I found hilarious. It's an eardrum shredding styrofoam against styrofoam screech. It really is. I also love the earnest twang of Larry D. Jones droning on and on about how to do it correctly. Let me get that name in there. We have an elk call. We have a call in the glove box. I don't know why we have one in the glove box, but it's pretty fun to use. It sounds terrible, though. Then somehow, again, beer may have played a role. I got this idea that Hank and I should go try it out, that we should stumble into the woods in the middle of the night with a boombox and the Larry D. Jones tape just to see what would happen. So we did. We were drunk and giddy and loud as we thrashed through the Wyoming mountains. Hank carried the boombox on his shoulder and turned up the volume as high as he could, while I kept falling over laughing at the loud, artificial sound of a bull elk in rut. Hi, Ashley. Good morning. We could not have been less in tune with nature at that moment, but nature found us anyway. You need to be careful when you go calling animals to you. All at once, there was a thunder of hooves. I'd never heard an actual thunder of hooves before. It's terrifying. And then a crashing of branches, and then the biggest elk you ever saw exploded into our clearing and stood there in the moonlight just a few short yards from us, snorting and pawing at the ground and tossing his antlered head in fury. What rival male has dared to bugle a mating call on my turf? Suddenly, Larry D. Jones didn't seem so funny anymore. Never have two people sobered up as fast as Hank and I sobered up right then. We'd been kidding, but this 1,700-pound beast was decidedly not kidding. He was ready for war. It was as if we'd been conducting a harmless little seance, but had inadvertently summoned forth an actual dangerous spirit. We'd been messing around with forces that should not be messed with, and we were not worthy. Side note, I used to babysit for a family in the foothills around Fort Collins. It's an area called Stove Prairie Ranch. And they had herds of elk that came through the yard every day. And one time when we were leaving, the herd was on the little dirt road that went down to the main road. And we literally were surrounded in our car by giant elk. And they are huge. Like, they are massive, huge, thick, solid, incredibly awe-inspiring animals. That I will never forget that. Our whole car was just surrounded by elk, and we just sat there until they moved. They just went around us. Morgan was little. I should ask her if she still remembers that. My impulse was to bow down before the elk, trembling, and to beg for mercy. That would have been my impulse, too. Hank's impulse was smarter. To throw the boom box as far away from us as he could, as if it were about to detonate. Anything to distance ourselves from the bogus voice that we had dragged into this all-too-real forest. We cowered behind a boulder. We gawped at the elk in wonder while it blew clouds of frosty breath, furiously looking for its rival, tearing up the earth beneath its hooves. When you see the face of God, it is meant to frighten you, and this magnificent creature had frightened us in exactly that manner. When the elk finally departed, we inched our way back to the ranch feeling humbled and shaken and very mortal. It was awesome in the classical definition of the word. So I wrote about it. I didn't tell this exact story, but I wanted to catch hold of that sensation. callow humans humbled by divine natural visitation, and use it as the basis for writing something serious and intense about man and nature. I wanted to take that electrifying personal experience and work it into a piece of short fiction using imagined characters. It took me many months to get that story right, or at least to get it as close to right as I possibly could for my age and abilities. When I finished writing the story, I called it Elk Talk, and I started sending it out to magazines, hoping somebody would publish it. One of the publications I sent Elk Talk to was the late great fiction journal Story. A few weeks later, my inevitable rejection letter arrived in the post, but this was a special rejection letter. You have to understand that rejection letters come in varying degrees, ranging across the spectrum of the word no, the full spectrum of the word no. There's not only the boilerplate form rejection letter, there's also the boilerplate rejection letter with a tiny personal note in an actual human's handwriting, which might say something like, interesting but not for us. It can be exhilarating to receive even such a sparse crumb of recognition, and many times in my youth I'd been known to run around crowing to my friends, I just got the most amazing rejection note. But this particular rejection letter was from Story's well-respected editor-in-chief, Lois Rosenthal herself. Her response was thoughtful and encouraging. She liked the story. She liked stories about animals better than people. Ultimately, she felt the ending fell short, so they would not be publishing it, but she wished me good luck. To an unpublished writer, getting rejected as nicely as that from the editor-in-chief herself is almost like winning the Pulitzer. I was elated. It was by far the most fantastic rejection I'd ever received. And then I did what I used to do all the time back then. I took that rejected short story out of its self-addressed stamped envelope and sent it off to another magazine to collect yet another rejection letter, maybe even a better one. What a great attitude. Because that is how you play the game. Onward ever, backward never. May the odds be ever in your favor of rejection letters. Okay, a few years passed. I kept working at my day jobs and writing on the side. I finally did get published with a different short story in a different magazine. Hi, Cynthia. Hold on. Because of that lucky break, I was now able to get a professional literary agent. It was my agent who sent my work out to publishers on my behalf. My old short story, Elk Talk, was going to be published. Wonderful, I said. Who bought it? Story Magazine, she reported. Lois Rosenthal loved it. Darn it. Well, stick around for a few minutes. We're just reading this one part, and then we're doing other things. And mostly I was just handing out links and stuff in the beginning, so you're fine. She told me she thought Elk Talk was perfect. She couldn't wait to publish it. This is in a phone conversation, okay? This is the same woman who rejected her story before and didn't like the ending. Now she's on the phone with her, and she said she loved it. So Elizabeth Gilbert says, you even like the ending? I asked. Of course, she said. I adore the ending. As we spoke, I was holding in my hands the very rejection letter written to me just a few years earlier about the same story. Clearly, she had no recollection of ever having read Elk Talk before. I didn't bring it up. I was delighted that she was embracing my work. I didn't want to seem disrespectful, snarky, or ungrateful. But I certainly was curious, so I asked, what is it that you like about my story, if you don't mind telling me? She said, it's so evocative. It feels mythical. It reminds me of something, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I knew better than to say it reminds you of itself. I'm not sure what the point of that chapter was, except to have a great attitude about rejection letters. The next chapter is pretty long. She actually does explain what the point was in the next chapter, but I think I'm going to save that because I want to get to our giveaway. So here's the final list of names. If I don't have your name on here, pop up real quick and tell me. Michelle, Lenora, Catherine, Sarah, Betty, Carrie, Tanya, Juliana, Silvana, Ben, Elizabeth, Angela, Aaron, Sherry, Molshari, so it's probably Sherry, huh? Ashley, and Cynthia. Who did I miss? And if you're on the web, you're out of luck, I guess. I got everybody? Okay, so I'm going to get the name, and then I'll tell you what your options are. I'm going to try and let you see this thing, how it works. It's so cute. Oh, I don't know if it's going to work. Did you like seeing at my nose there? Can you guys see the screen? Kinda? Hold on. Watch this. Whee! Elizabeth! Isn't that fun? Elizabeth. A cat is one of the prizes. That's the big surprise. You win a cat! I have a buff-colored cat, your option of 2 orange cats, a tortoiseshell, Toribi cat, and a solid black cat. Which one would you like? You win a cat! She's like, oh no, take it back. I don't want to play this game. Okay, so here's what your options are. Your cat! You can have a full-size bottle of cedarwood essential oil. This is very calming, grounding, relaxing. It's an accessorized cat. It's an accessorized cat. Cedarwood is good for sleeping. It's good for calming down. It's grounding. It's like the cedar trees and the fir tree blend oils that are very refreshing and calming. If you're sensitive to melatonin, like if you take a melatonin... Nita, that's awesome. That's why I didn't tell you what the prize options were till after I drew a name. Because it was a cat. If you are the kind of person that takes melatonin pills and has nightmares, you shouldn't use this oil. But this is really, really good for sleep. And it's good for sleep for me too, but I'm sensitive to melatonin, so it makes my dreams just a little too edgy for me. So you can have this, or I figured out how to get rid of Grit. Grit is our, she's kind of mean. Cedarwood is great for sleeping. So Heath will come home and I'll be like, Grit's gone. Sorry. I gave her away in a contest. I lost her at poker. We do love her sorry ass. Poor Elizabeth. She's like, I'm trying to focus. You can have, okay, so this, it's his cat. Yeah. So I really don't want to give away my cats. This little sample size bottle holds about 20 drops of oils. So you can have the cedarwood bottle, or you can have 3 of these, one with citrus fresh, one with Northern Lights black spruce, and one with peppermint. So 3 bottles, 20 drops-ish each, sample bottles of citrus fresh, peppermint, and Northern Lights black spruce. The Northern Lights is amazing. Or, here's one more option. Oh, Aaron, the Northern Lights black spruce is excellent for focus, clarity, when I'm in a brain fog and I feel like an idiot. It kind of cuts through the brain fog and it's like, helps me focus, I guess. I suppose focus would have been the short answer to that question. Or you can have an art print on heavy paper and I'll sign it in gold on the print. So an art print or some oils. The best combination for focus is vetiver and Northern Lights black spruce. Thank you. So many choices. A trio of sample bottles, a bottle of cedarwood, or a print. It's up to you. And you don't have to choose now. You can send me a DM on Twitter if you want to think about it. Yeah, the prehistoric bug is still here. Hello, Jurassic Park. The cedar wood is awesome for the sleeping. It's very relaxing. You can smell it. I really like the smell. It smells like cedar wood. You have a cat named Provolone. That's the best ever. I want a cat named Provolone. Okay, I'm going to rename one of our cats. Yeah, a scratch and sniff option. Oh, I love that name. A blogger that I really love, she actually did my logo, my Caddyshack Designs logo. And I've done portrait work for her. It's glowgirly.com, glogirly.com. She has 2 cats, Katie and Waffles. And Waffles is an orange tabby. You're so welcome. Can you DM me your address on Twitter or Facebook? You can follow me on Facebook. Either way. Waffles, I know. Linda, you just missed the giveaway. Follow me on Facebook or send me a tweet, a DM, a direct message on Twitter. Lovely. I'll do another giveaway May. Okay, so let's pull a card for Michelle's birthday. And so, you guys, I've been taking Colby, and you wanted to name your kids Bree and Jack. Sarah, you can't do that. Not me. Michelle Lee. 331 today. 331. It's a special day and $20 off starter kits until the end, 10 o'clock tonight. Oh my God, you guys. I'm got lots of stuff to offer. Whoops. We had a pop out. Yes. I don't want you to have married someone named after a cheese. It's okay for a cat to be named Provolone, but I don't know about some guy named Colby. When I think of a guy named Colby, I think of like cowboy boots and a can of Copenhagen in the back pocket that's been there so often that the ring is, they have that ring on their back pocket. I don't know if y'all know that in Texas. Oh, that was his last name. Even still. Here's our card. Come together right now. Let me sing out a tune for you. Come together. Now we're going to have that song stuck in our heads all day. Come together right now over me. This is for the group in celebration of Michelle's birthday. Let's read what it says. And it was a one that went floop. It is from the Enchanted Map deck. Enchanted Map. This is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. And it popped out upright, so let's see what we have. Yay, group hug. Love needs to be shared. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the Come Together card is a sign you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms of expression. Romantic, familial, unconditional, and spiritual. In each instance, there is another being involved. Love involves a give and take between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, or spirit. Like this, I know. Like this can be anything. But it involves a relationship with another being, whether that's spirit or a cat or a dog or whatever. Person, friend. an elk. It could be your relationship with an elk. I had a moose come into our camp once. I was like, seriously, 6-7 feet away from it. I came out of my tent and there he was. I about died. A bull moose too. It was so scary and wonderful. This car, moose are my favorite. Moose and elk and all those guys, I just love them. The rack on this moose, freaking huge. So huge. I saw him for about the 5 seconds it took me to come out of the tent and go, oh my God, that's a moose, and dive right back into my tent, as if that would have saved me if he decided to stomp us with his big feet. Yeah, it was scary. Moose are actually pretty scary because they can't see very well, and they get curious and they want to get up on you and see what you are, and then they recognize you and then they kill you. And their knees dislocate so they can beat the crap out of you with their feet, with their magical hooves. Right. Well, I'm sure it was drawn to the dogs because the person I was backpacking with brought her dogs with her. Bear bait, really. Okay, this card assures you that love has come calling. Moose are fascinating. You're dead, Human! You're dead. I promise I'm going to get back to the card, but here's another side story. I had this friend in Colorado named Jack Hahn, and the place where the moose are the most is like up in the mountains. So Cameron Pass is where we used to go. It's Gould, and around in there's like moose everywhere. Every time you go up there, you can see a moose. But he was hiking in this area we used to backpack in, and so you hike up like incredibly steep for 3 miles and you think you're going to die. And then you get to the top and it opens up on this meadow, and then the bigger mountains are all around you. It's called a cirque. So it's Cirque Meadows. So he gets up there and he's all proud of himself, and he sees a moose, and the moose is looking at him, or looking in his direction. And he's like, what's that moose looking at? He seems really interested in what he's looking at. So Jack's like turning around behind him and he's like, oh my God, is there something behind him? You're near death. You're not there yet. So then the moose starts coming closer, and Jack's still thinking the moose is looking behind him. And then as he started to run through the marshes, he realized like a dumbass, oh my God, he's looking at me. So he had to hump his pack and like run really fast and get away from the moose. And I was like, you could have been dead, stupid. Ridiculous. Bye. Oh, no, wait. Oh, I'll copy this and put it in the group. The card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. Know that you are cherished. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is a time for harmonious, caring partnerships. I'm sorry I got sidetracked on stories. I'll photocopy this and put it in the Perry Fam Friends group. The card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. I know, right? Know that you are cherished. Know that you are cherished. Regardless of what anyone outside of you is doing, know that you are cherished by the universe. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is the time for harmonious, caring partnerships. So there you go. Birthday card. And just for fun, because we're all scattered around anyway, let's pull one more, just for the heck of it. Since I got the deck out anyway. I really love the artwork in this deck. Look at this beautiful card, the compass card. Isn't that pretty? The artwork is so pretty. The last 2 nights, I've taken the cell phone out of the bedroom. I've turned it off and left it on the dining room table, and I've slept like a log. I don't know if that's like a for real thing, like cell phones disrupt your sleep when they're right by your head. I'm going to try it for a few more nights. Yeah, I've slept like a log 2 nights in a row. Like, even without earplugs. Usually I have to wear earplugs because the cat's running around wakes me up. I know, it was always right by my head. So I Yeah, yeah, that's what I've heard. And I never tried it, and I thought, well, what the heck. So I'm going to keep trying it for a few more days, and then I'm going to put it back in its usual place and see if I sleep crappy again. But it's really nice to go to bed around 11 or 12 and sleep until 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And then this morning I got up and did my shower and all that, and came in here and got on the little sofa thing and fell back asleep till nearly 9. I was sleeping like a baby. So you could try it and see. Leave the cell phone in the dining room. I turned the phone on silent anyway, so it's not like I need to have it right by my head. Yeah, give it a shot. Let's get us another card here. Try sleeping without your cell phone. Okay, we had another one fall. Oh, that was like 5. I think that was more my crappy shuffling than the actual. Oh, yeah, that's my hands. Oh my gosh, you guys, my hands sometimes don't work. I've got like 7 cards on the floor now. So let's see. Okay, we have intention reversed. 22. Here's how it looks right side up. Intention. Intenzione. Let's read it. Oh boy. So, oh God. Love Julia. You guys know Julia. She's at Transformational Healer. Her Facebook Messenger thing just popped up, and she said, today is the day your coffee needs coffee. That's true. I feel kind of like I'm bumbling around through the day today. I've had workshops on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and so today I'll probably not do anything. So I'm going to read the reversed version of that card, and then I'm going to read the upright one, because you never know which way it applies to you. So reversed is, are you being clear about your intentions, or are you in a foggy state of denial about your true motives or ambitions? This is the time to step back and gain perspective and clarity about your direction. Check your motives and ask if they are sincere. Are you pursuing some goal blindly without asking the cost of it? What it's costing you? Good intentions may be being misinterpreted. Now is a time for self-evaluation and self-nurturing. You will benefit greatly if you take time out to regroup. So that's a chickadee yourself before you wreck yourself message. There you go. Now the upright one is, deliberate, clear intentions have the power to change the world. Your objectives will be, it's good to just boil these down to one sentence and or song lyric. Your objectives will be fulfilled at this time. So, super cool. Inspired intentions are like magic arrows shot up into the sky. The universe is bringing you a gift, showing you that you're hitting the mark. Recognize that you're not the one who has to do all the work. I know, right? Those are the best. Others help you co-create reality. You connect to the power of your intention, sending it out into the field. Then allow synchronicity to work its magic. So you set your intention, you put it out there, you have it up around your office space or wherever you work so that you remember. You find the feeling of it, and then you let people help you get there. And you let circumstances and events bring up everything between you and your goal. So if you're blocking yourself, you can become aware of that and do something with it. You allow synchronicity to work its magic. Perhaps the good intentions of others will inspire you to send out beautiful intentions of your own. Own the life you want to lead and live deliberately with clarity and detachment. So you desire your outcome and you remain flexible. You set your intention for what you want to have happen, and you let go of the form that it takes. So say you're looking for a partner, You focus on that feeling of being loved and how it feels to be in partnership, and you let go of the idea of what that person is going to look like and when they're going to show up. You spend your days meditating on that feeling, and then you follow whatever leads you get. If someone offers to set you up on a date, you go. It may or may not be the right person, but you're in motion out in the world, so synchronicity can work on your behalf. So the universe can, shift things around for you, so you can shift things around for yourself, really. But spend your days don't spend any time, if you can help it, thinking about what you don't have. So many thoughts that one should be super specific when in manifest mode. I don't do it that way. I focus on the feeling. So when I was looking for a husband, because I wanted to be married, and I wanted that kind of partnership, I spent about 6 solid months every day walking around feeling like I was married, generating the feeling of being married, being committed, the feeling of security that gave me, the feeling of partnership. It's hard to put a word on that feeling, right? The feeling of committed partnership. And I wore a ring on my left hand. I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. And I spent my time focused on the feeling so that I would let go of the form. The form it showed up in was not what I expected. But when the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm going to be well taken care of. If you guys can find your way here, we'll take care of you too. So now with my business, surprise! It's 16 years younger than you. Yay! And that was a challenge for me, a big one, among many things with that relationship. The age difference was, and sometimes still is, a challenge for me. Our society made December male-female relationships feel weird. Yeah, I would say that. I always say that our physical bodies are different, but our emotional development is probably the same. Because he's a little wiser than me in some areas, and I'm pretty immature in other areas, so I think we kind of balance each other out. And women live longer than men, so it might work out just fine. Yeah, I get a lot of wow comments. I'm not a cougar. I do not claim that title. I think that title is disgusting. Anyway, that's how I do it. I don't get specific. I focus on, when I was looking for a new job, I focused on the feeling of a new job. When I was looking for this place, this house, I focused on the feeling of what it would feel like to live in this kind of environment, and that's exactly what we got. So that I found that to be more effective. That's what Desire Map workshops are all about, is switching to focusing on the feeling of what you're going after, as if you've already got it. You're already looking for number 2. My friend Bev used to say, the only way for a woman to stay sane is to have a boyfriend and a backup. So that she never got too attached to the one she was with. So that she always did have a boyfriend and a backup. Oh, yeah, you better start building a call list. Doing some mild interviewing. Make a list of names and numbers for the future. Your backup pool, yeah, that's it. Oh, Linda. Well, there you go. That's my opinions on like 700 different subjects. So, Aaron, get vetiver with your Northern Lights Black Spruce and cedarwood for sleeping, vetiver, and Northern Lights Black Spruce for focus. From elk to husbands, to May December relationships, to essential oils, and don't sleep with your cell phone next to your head. Some couple of card pulls. And we're all over the place today. I feel pretty scattered in myself. But today's my day. I'm going to take today off. I have I need to write the essential oils emotion class. I need to write my part of it and get it to where Catherine can put her part in. So follow me on Facebook if you want an invitation to that emotional class. You don't have to stay friends. If you just want to follow to get the invitation, it's fine. What to do when you encounter an elk? Do your best not to encounter one. Bats in the eaves of your house keeping you up at night? Build them a bat house, Betty, so they go in the bat house and not in the... That's my next book. Not in, on your actual house. Build them a house on a pole close by, and they'll take up residence there instead of your house. You don't want to get rid of them because they eat all your mosquitoes. Maybe you could send me a bat to eat Mr. Prehistoric over there on the wall. In case you guys missed him. He's still there. Yeah. I don't want to squish a bug that big. Can you imagine what that's going to be like? No. He doesn't have a stinger. He's staying in one place. I'm going to go over there and watch TV, and then I'm going to write later. I'm not too worried about him. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, I'll move him. I'll get a little fly swatter and push him. I'll try and push him out the door. Or I sometimes do the glass jar thing. You slap a glass jar. Why are you sitting so close to it? It doesn't really bother me. Well, I think the cats got a hold of him earlier. But I'll put a glass jar over him and slide a piece of paper under, and then I'll throw him outside. And then I'll throw the glass jar away. Because I can't drink out of it after that. I don't care. I just can't get that image out of my head. If he disappears and you wonder where he went, yeah. Well, last night I left one light bulb on over here in the hopes that it would keep him in this area, and I would actually hope that the cats would eat him overnight, but they didn't. Slackers. Definitely need to give them away now. They're not doing their job. All right. I'm rambling. Have a great day. They're no good at all. My cats are no good at all. They're eating machines. They track mud on my bed. The only times Tonka wants to snuggle is when his feet and his ears are ice cold. They might be scared of it too. They might be like, oh, damn, look at that bug. Good. No, man, I'm not eating that bug. You want that bug? No, I can't eat that bug, man. Nope. Yeah, send me your address. I'll get your oil in the mail to you. And congratulations. So Tonka spends all night coming and going out of bed. He goes out. He freezes his feet and ears. No, man, I ain't eating that bug. They're probably hoping I'm going to get rid of it. They're probably like, how come Mom's not getting rid of that bug? That bug is still there. All right, time to go mess around and do nothing for a couple hours. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Thanks for your regular attendance and all your hearts and shares. Yeah, they're calling me a slacker. I'm like, why aren't you eating that bug? And they're like, why aren't you getting rid of that bug, Mom? I love you too. Have a great day. Have a wonderful rest of your spring break, Tanya and Ben, and anybody else on spring break. Bye.